So someone asked for a review on Reddit, so I thought I'd make a quick video to review it. And he was black in this game. So far, so good. Okay. So here you want to block on this side because this is low. So you can't really build anything on the bottom side here. And if you do this old Joseki that's not really played anymore, you are building all this potential over here. This one's simple. I could also Tanuki here, but the idea is the same, where now you have influence here, and if you pincer here, then you're growing something on a large scale. This way, because this stone is low, it's really easy to reduce it. So I could do something like this, and you can see that you got pressed down, and white's building some stuff over here, and then you have the stick of stones that's not really doing anything now. Okay, and white invades on this side. This is actually the smallest area to invade. If you look at the top side, it's really wide. This side is narrow. So white should be approaching from this side. Okay, you kick. This is okay because white doesn't really want this side because it's the smaller side. Black wants this side. This is a little slow. I would be approaching here or playing a move like this to protect the corner and making white a little bit weak. So here, if white wanted to connect under, it just doesn't matter. Like, you let him connect under, he still has some Aji here, and you have Sente to approach here. So you don't really want to force white to run out with something like this. Because like I said, it's not really gaining you anything, and it's not really hurting white. So like when white runs out here, you're just reducing your own potential. Okay, he jumps into the corner. So this move is saying, I'm going to attack white. This move is also saying, I'm going to attack white. And so here you should continue with something solid so that you can keep attacking white. The game you played here, which creates some weak points in your shape, and when attacking, weak points are not good. They push through here. So now you have this cutting point to worry about. So instead of defending here, you should probably defend here. You don't really have to worry about this. It's not that big. Like if he goes here, you can just Tanuki, maybe try and put some pressure on this group, and then if he takes the stone, it's small. But here you have a cutting point where these stones are actually big, and then you're actually trying to put pressure on these stones. And with the weakness there, it's harder to do that. He defends his corner. That's probably not necessary, but better safe than sorry, I guess. And at 10Q, it's hard to tell. Okay, you go here, which it kind of defends your cutting point. There's a potential ladder and stuff and weaknesses there. But I'd still prefer something more solid. Okay, he defends, and you turn here. White doesn't really have anywhere to run to on the side because you have this stone here where you can jump in here, and you have this stone here where you can turn. So I would want to play on the outside and then force him to live. Like say he does this, you stop him from connecting under, he goes here, you go here, and then I don't know, he does this or connects under, either way. He's not really making any points, and you made your outside stronger, and you have Sente, so that you could do something like this maybe, or approach, or anything is bigger than attacking this at this moment. But when you force him to run out, you potentially lose all your potential here that you had. Even though it's not the greatest potential, because it's easy to reduce, some is better than none. Okay, so he goes to run out. So he chooses to just live. He probably should try to keep running out, and then if he needs to, he could always come back and try and live. But you want to try and get out into the center first before living locally, because normally living locally, you lose Sente, and it's a sad life. Okay, here you try to surround him, that's good. So here you got the same result, but he's pretty much alive and has Sente. So Sente is pretty big here. Even though you did get probably stronger than in the variation I showed, I would rather have Sente. So he plays over here. The most important area is probably the one down here, so I would be trying to grow it, either with something like this, or just being even more direct and just, I don't know, doing something like this to try and close it off. It's quite a big area, and it's pretty easy for white to reduce it with a move like this. Because here, if you try to fight back, he can still run out, and later he also has like this attach, where he can threaten to make some eye shape on the bottom. So you're a little too focused on this area. Like, yeah, it's big if you kill it, but there's bigger areas right now. Like, if you take this whole area here, this is bigger than this. And you're not really sure if you can kill this or if you're just throwing away Sente. And here white played a pretty good move. He got Sente, which was the bad news for you. Because if you try to get rid of this eye here, if he does this, then yeah, it's pretty much dead. But he can go here, and if you block, he can Atari. You can't really fix your eye shape here. He just goes here, and he captures these, and he's safe. So by playing these moves, you took away points that weren't really points, like it was maybe 2 points or less, and you lost Sente. So that was not very good. And he invaded here. Here I would say, because you have all this strength here, you kind of need to attack it. And his corner is also quite weak, so you can play this in Sente at almost any time. And if you were to Tanuki, you can jump in, and this should die. So he should respond. And then when you play something like this to attack it, and he tries to make a base, it's really hard for him to live here. But even if he does live, you're getting points here that are more guaranteed. Trying to kill is risky, so you don't want to go all in and try to kill something. You want to take the outside and then leave the opportunity to kill, but you don't want it to be your main focus. So here you took the base away and forced him to run out, which here you kind of lost all that potential to make points here. So now you've forced it into a situation where if you wanted to make points here, you kind of have to kill it now. And if you don't kill it, then you kind of lose all the points. Then this group is not the strongest group. There's still some weaknesses here. It looks a bit risky for black to play this way. In a position where you're kind of forced to kill. Yeah, this one was a little too aggressive. Here you needed to defend your weak points, which you always want to defend those while attacking, because they'll come back to bite you. Then he gets to play a move like this. And he's getting out a little bit and has some potential eye space now. But here, he's just clean out, so it's definitely not good. Probably would be better to defend on the other one. Just because you want to be playing on this side, because this is the bigger side. Little chance of this dying. So you don't really want to worry about this area, and there's almost no potential for points here, so there's no need to. You want to focus on the much larger area. So here you can see that it's much harder for you to do anything on this side because he has better shape in the center and you have more weaknesses. Okay, but you defend your cutting points, that's good. But here you pretty much lived and destroyed all of your points and you didn't really get much out of it. Again, you're forced to be aggressive. Here you're being a little bit risky here. So when he plays here, I would consider this move. It's helping prevent the cut here, and at the same time is trying to connect your stones. So if he like Hani's here, and you extend, you're still defending the cut, which means all these are pretty much connected. He has a cutting point here, and now if he tries to cut, you can just kill him. With this one, it feels bad to do this one because you're protecting the cut, but you're losing points over here, and this got cut off. So you connect here, which now it's just this cut is a little bit more effective, and then there's a chance your stones get cut off. And you get multiple groups, which you really want to try and keep all your groups connected. Yeah, so here it's getting a bit dangerous because now he can cut you into 2 groups. And now you have almost 3 groups that need 2 eyes, and they don't have any eyes yet. It's a very bad situation to be in. Then he cuts you off. Connecting under here doesn't really help because he's gonna connect here. Like there's no doubt about it. You might as well try to do something that's better for eye shape, like playing here and trying to kill this group. And then he's probably gonna kill this group and maybe this one. But at least you got something. Okay. So white should have connected here. So he let part of the group go. And here he's pretty much alive here, so that was a mistake. I would say points-wise, it's probably pretty close, and there's still stuff over here. So I would just solidly connect here. And if he cuts this off, then I would just focus on living here. And then you can come back and either try and kill this, or reduce the top. That's what I would do. Because you connect here, you end up living anyway, but you lose Sente. And then he gets the first move to attack. On the other version, if he plays here, which he probably shouldn't, but that's another reason why defending that cut is bad, because white probably won't even cut there, he'll go after the whole thing. Okay, and then this is probably gonna die. So that's dead. So really the only thing left you can try and do is to kill this group, which I think it would be a Ko. Because if he throws in here, he can just make an eye. Okay, so you go after this group. He gets the first moves here, so now it's just alive. And at that point, I think the game's pretty much over. But hopefully I helped you and you learned something, and just let me know what you think.